What's up, YouTube? Shout out to the DillieGang. This is Dillio coming to you with another video, and in this video we're going to review the Heat Up 3 VST plugin. Now, to be honest with you, this was a plugin I was sleeping on. I'll be the first to admit that. I was sleeping on it, didn't really take it that seriously at face value, but then when I would live stream, people would tell me, yo, Dillio, you need to check out this plugin. You really need to check out this plugin. A lot of people using it. It's hot. It's dope. And I was looking, I was like, okay, it kind of looks like something I've seen before, but it's not quite. So we're going to get into that and do my review about this video. We're going to talk about the good and the bad and whether you should get this plugin or not. So let's dive right in. So as you can see, we got this on the screen. This is Heat Up 3. Let's go over what it does. Now, it is a sample-based plugin. So it's a rompler, meaning that it plays back wavetables of different samples that it has in there, and it's very easy to access, and just off jump you can change the size of it right there, which is very convenient. If you have a larger monitor and you got to shrink it down, you can just click and drag that corner right there, which I think is a great feature that I think all plugins should have, but not all plugins have that. And right here is a list of all the expansions. There are a ton of expansions on there. We're going to get to that, but we're just going to go over the face of this. You got your filter over here to the left. You got different patterns you can do, high pass, low pass, your bread and butter stuff, you know, the cutoff, the resonance, the attack. And then on the right side, you have your amplitude or amplitude as far as like your envelope on there. So if you want it to fade in, you can pan it left to right. You can drive it a little bit. So you got a little bit of an overdrive, which comes in handy for your 808s. And then we got the reverb right here. Reverb sounds decent. Delay sounds very palatable, very tasteful. We got a little bit of chord stage. Want to have that fun. Got the keys here. Expression, where you can assign different parameters to go to different routing. So there's a nice little matrix there. You got another matrix of envelopes here that you can assign to different things and affect how much they involve things. You got the LFO. I'm very interested in this. Where you can design different LFOs, but you got two LFOs that you can design right there and set the parameters where you want them to go. And then you got the sample. You can add a little bit of noise, a little bit of texture to that, and that's it. So, you know, when I first looked at this plugin, I was like, but I started to play with it, and you can actually see some of my live streams where I actually installed this just to check it out. And you know, it's pretty easy to go. So if I will go to like all, you get to see that we have all these presets right here. Now these are expansions, they are categorized, so that kind of helps it be easy to find. And then let's make it make some noise. So get you ready, because you're about to hear a low sub sound. So we got 808 there. Now let's listen to when I drive it. Hear that? If you want it to sound a little bit darker, just close the cutoff. It's a pretty dark sound anyway, though. And if you want to kind of let that ring, sometimes if you want to let that 808 ring, you can turn the release up. But then maybe you want it to be mono. And if you want to turn off the velocity, you got these options right here. Let's look at that portamento right there. You kind of make the 808 slide. Has some very good sounds in here, and I think it's a very fun plugin to work with. One of the things I like about this plugin is that it is simple, right? You see your sounds, you click on it, you load it, and you go. You click on your sound, you got a category, ARP, I hit the note, I got a sound. Okay, if I want a choir. Okay, there's my choir. Let's hear what the choir sounds like. So that kind of sounds there, and you got all kinds of other stuff, like you got the operatic solo. Bass smooth. So it kind of does a little bit analog. Now it doesn't do analog like how analog does analog, but it's still workable. And we haven't really dove into that. Another thing is that I like how it loads fast. Loads fast, has great essential sounds. So if you want the bell for your trap beats, you got it right here. So you got your bell sounds right there. Oh, you want to know? You don't like that one? Click on another one. All kinds of weird sounds right there. And the cool thing is that you got ability to really modify your sound. So let's see if I can mess with that filter and turn the cutoff down just a little bit right there. If I can click with the left mouse button. Want a little add of resonance to it. So you got a little bit of sound design, not full on sound design, because you can't go inside of the presets and change the samples yourself a la Omnisphere. Okay, can't really do that, but sometimes, you know, when you're creating tracks, you don't want to have on this sound designer hat all the time. Maybe you just want something that you can go to quickly, find some sounds or some placeholders quickly that works with your favorite DAW or music production software, FL Studio, Machine, Ableton, Machine, Studio One, Logic, the list goes on. So let's talk about a little bit of the minuses. So one of the things I could be honest with you about with this plugin, it's worth the trouble, but the installation of expansions. As you can see, I have a lot of expansions on here already. You got all these expansions. It looks really cool, really fun. I mean, anything having expansions. I mean, if you look at the MPC software, you see there's expansions there. It just looks cool, makes you feel good, right? Makes you feel good. But the problem is that the process to add your expansions once you download them is a little lengthy. You got to really pay attention to where your files are going. You got to make sure that your library, the original library that you install your samples to, is in a place where there's a lot of hard drive space. Typically, you don't want to do this on your main system drive. You want to save that for system things. And you want to have a separate drive, preferably mirrored, if you're into nerdy stuff like that, that saves all of your sample data and protects it in a way so that if one of the drives fails, you can re-silver that mirror. And that goes into that goes into a whole nother thing. So we're not going to go too far into that. But the problem is that there's a lot of work involved. You know, I would like to just have an expansion that I could just click and drag right to it, like I can do with the MPC software or other platforms, and boom, we're in there. So maybe that's something they're working on. That's an improvement. Now, some of these sounds do sound familiar when I'm looking at all these sounds. So like, for instance, if I want a key sound, I would have liked them to have like a keyboard or a piano. See, I don't see a piano section, but I do see a keys section. And you know, I mean, you keep running through these presets, you're going to hear something that sounds familiar to you. I mean, you can really have fun with that. Same thing with guitars, bass guitars. Oh, I like the brass. The brass is fun. You know, that brass is. One of the things I also would like to see fixed on this plugin is a search function. As you can see on the interface, there's really no search function anywhere on here. I mean, your mouse and keyboard are your search functions for this. But let's say there's a name I want and I forget to favorite it. That's another thing I can put on the positive side right there that I can insert into that point, is that if you right click preset, you got a star there and it will show up on your favorites right here, like these strings here. Look at these strings. Or this one right here. Cool sounds right there. And so it would be great if I could just search all those presets, because there's so many sounds. It's like hundreds of gigabytes of expansion. If you get the Ultimate Edition, there are gigabytes and gigabytes of presets and sounds. And so that's where you got to get into a search function. But I would rather be able to just search up a sound and pull it up instead of navigating all of these expansions. Like, oh, did I put that in this one? Or did I put that in that one? Oh, which one was it? I don't know. You know, was it this one? I don't know. So that could be a thing that could be expounded upon. And again, the sound design is present, but there are limitations, but not too limited. Like I said, you can't really go inside of the plugin and really dive into the samples that are being used. Maybe you want to put in your own samples. It doesn't really work like that. So it's not a sampler, it's a rompler. Let's look at some of the things you got here. So if I've already click on full orchestra. You can do film scoring with this. So you have a sequencer here. So you can play a sequencer right there and you know, have fun with that. Turn it on. So if I play the art, oh, it's a little fast. Let's slow it down. So you got the arpeggio there. So you got a sequencer in there. That's cool. That's a cool feature in case you want to play something in there. You got a big list of preset sequences you can do on there. Let's look at the browser there. We already been there and done that with the browser. These are your effects. So chorus, which is on the front, you got a panner right there. So if I turn the sequencer off. So if I want to make it pan, you do hear sort of a sine wave. You hear a sine wave in that pattern. Because I hear the gradation between left and right ears. You got delay. You got tremolo, reverb. Listen to that reverb trail off there. Isn't that fun? And then you got phaser there, compressor, transgate, EQ. EQ does work. I do hear it work. Distortion, this is good. You got different versions of EQ. Vibrato. And you have reverse. Reverse I wasn't too much of a fan of, to be honest. But, and then you also got the scope. That just looks cool in case you're making a tutorial video. So you see that there's a lot of presets, a lot of fun things you can do with it. So, but it's a sleeper because it's not from, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but at this point, I don't know if Initial is more on a growing brand, right? They're a growing brand. That's a good way to put it. And so I didn't really know about it. Of course, you know, most of the time I'm hearing about the big name plugins. And so once again, sometimes you can get fatigued with plugins, right? If you're a music producer, you get fatigued on hearing about all these plugins. You get fatigued about, okay, I'm using this plugin. Oh man, I'm, you know, and then after a while, you just get overwhelmed with, you got way more sounds that you will ever need. But sometimes having a new library brought into your life like this, or a new interface, inspires new creativity that you don't get. It's just the experience of having something new that gives you the confidence to feel like you're creating something hot. The experience of getting something new can create the confidence, make you feel like you're creating something hot, or makes you feel like you're something different, which is more stimulating, which is more inspiring to help you to keep creating, which is, I guess, why the plugin world never ends, because I think us as creators are always looking for that next thing to kind of help push us along, which is good, but it's also a good thing to maintain, to create with what you have. So it's a constant balancing. Sometimes you need to stay right where you're at and create, make that work and use those limitations of what you have to create something new. And then sometimes you get something new that says, oh, we can do it this way and we can push it forward. So that was a great, but this is a great tool. If you were to ask me if you should buy it, I think you should. It's affordable. It's affordable. It's one of the most affordable plugins I've seen out that sounds really good. That has a lot of great sounds in it. Works very stable. I haven't seen it really break my system at all. But I tend to break my system a lot because I do a lot of weird stuff with my plugins. But it's clean. It doesn't seem like it's a resource hog, which is good. And it's fun. And it's creative, and it sounds good too. So I think this is a good tool to have in your toolbox for creating music production. I think it's a great tool, and I like it. So if you're a user of this plugin, let me know what you think about it, and let me know in the comments below what you think about this plugin. Would you use this? Have you seen me use it during one of my live streams? What do you think? And let me know what type of plugins you want to see me review in the future. I may have it, or I may be able to get it. Who knows? But I want to thank you guys for watching. You're watching the Dillio T2K YouTube channel. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.